Hi, my name's Chloe Farkas and I'm here with RideTo today to talk to you about what an A2 license is. Now, your A2 license is the next step up from a CBT if you're over the age of 19 years old. This allows you to ride a motorcycle up to 47 brake horsepower. That means more power than a 125, but there are still some restrictions. Now, in this video, we're going to talk you through what an A2 license is, how to get it, and why you should get one. So, let's get into it. Now, to get your A2 license, you need to have passed your CBT as well as your motorbike theory test. This is different from your car theory test too. You'll then be required to take two practical tests, your Mod 1 and your Mod 2. So how much does an A2 license actually cost? Let's break this down for you. First of all, as we mentioned earlier, you do need to get your CBT, which is your first entry point to getting you on a motorcycle, comfortable with the machine and on the road. This will cost you around 150 to 200 pounds, but we have done an additional video on this, so do follow the link in the description to find out more. Next up is your theory test. Now, your motorcycle theory test does differ from your car theory test. So they are largely the same, do have obviously similar themes, but you will need to sit your motorcycle theory test separately. And this costs around £23. Now, in terms of how much training you need and how much this will cost, it's completely personal to your journey. You could have been on a CBT with a 125 for a year or had great experience in a car on the road. So you might need less time to be able to take your Mod 1 and Mod 2. But this is completely dependent. So you don't need to have had a 125 and had your CBT for a long period of time to be able to sit your test. You can go straight on in. So in regards to actual costs, this could be anywhere from £500 and upwards. However, it's completely personal to your journey. Now, what bike can you ride in an A2 license? Some bikes come A2 ready, whereas others might just need to be restricted. For instance, what we have here is the Triumph Daytona 660. Now, this bike, ordinarily, you'd need a full unrestricted license to ride. However, it can be made A2 compliant with a restrictor kit, which means you've got a bike that can be A2 compliant and ready to go when you're upgrading to your full license. Okay, so you've got your CBT, you've done your theory test, you've started to learn how to ride. Now let's get into your practical tests. Let's talk about your Mod 1. Your Mod 1 is an off-road test that checks your slow maneuvers and handling of the bike in a controlled environment. Exercise 1. Now, what you'll be asked to do in this test is basically to wheel your moped or your motorcycle into a parking bay and then put it on the side stand. But don't forget your observations. These are really important and can also fail you if you don't do enough. Exercise 2. Now, once your examiner is happy, you'll be asked to mount the bike and start your engine before you start the slalom. Now, the slalom is a slow maneuvers test where you'll be moving through cones in a figure of S shape. Now, these are spaced between 4 to 5 meters apart. We cannot stress enough, do not take this too fast and make sure before you move away to do all of your observations. Forgetting to do your observation will be marked as an error. Exercise number 3. Now, you'll be asked to do figure of 8s around 2 cones until your examiner is happy. Exercise 4. Now, after your figure of 8, you'll be asked to go to the U-turn test area in a slow, controlled manner and then stop where the instructor has marked out. Now, in this section, it's really useful to use your back brake and don't worry about making too much noise on those revs because it helps you maneuver the bike at a steady and even pace. So, do I need to remind you about observations? Make sure you do your checks. Exercise 5. Next up, we have the U-turn. This is a test that simulates turning 180 degrees on the road. This test is set between 2 white lines around 7.5 meters apart. What you'll be asked to do is to move off, pick a point, and turn your bike in a U-turn motion to sit between the 2 lines and then stop at the end. Now, there are a couple of tips with this. You need to make sure that you are looking over your shoulder in the direction of which you are traveling. Do not look down at the floor. Do not look at your handlebars, and certainly do not put your foot on the ground. Trust yourself, keep your head turned in the direction you're going, and you'll be fine. And do I need to tell you about observations? Make sure you are doing your shoulder checks. Shoulder checks, do not forget them. Exercise 6. Now, this is a controlled turn left or right. You'll be asked to ride through some cones, and that leads us on to exercise 7, your controlled stop. You'll be asked to ride around the circuit and get your front wheel in between 4 cones. Exercise 9, and it's a controlled emergency brake at 32 miles per hour. You'll be asked to ride around the track and then emergency stop within a certain distance. Now, if you come a bit over or you're a little bit under, it might be okay. The test instructor might let you take it again. But again, make sure that you're doing all of your checks before you set off. You do not want to fail at this point. Once you finish, take a sit up, and wait for your next instruction. Exercise 10, you're nearly there. This is a 19 miles per hour ride around the circuit to prepare you for exercise 11. Simple. Don't forget those checks. Exercise 11, it is your final exercise. Now, some students would say this is their most dreaded, others will say it's your U-turn, but this one is nothing to be scared of. What you'll be asked to do is to avoid 2 cones that are marked out on the straight at 32 miles per hour. They are measuring your speed and your ability to come to a controlled stop by avoiding these cones. You'll have 2 blue cones on one side and 2 yellow cones on the other to mark out where you need to be traveling in an S shape to avoid them. Now, if you come a little bit under 32 miles per hour, your examiner may allow you to do this test again. And then that's it. You're done. You've finished your test. But don't stop there. After exercise 11, you'll be asked to leave the Mod 1 test site. Now, this is not technically the end of your test. You're still being marked on your observations. So make sure to listen to the examiner's instructions and do all of your checks, before you set off. And then once you exit the site, park up, turn off your engine, just do a couple of checks anyway, and then dismount. And then you'll wait for your results. You've done your Mod 1 and now it's on to your Mod 2. Now, these tests don't need to be taken in the same day, but this test will take you on road, where an examiner will follow you on a bike or in a car to test how you ride in real-time traffic. Now, in this test, you'll be on a one-way receiver telecom to your examiner, who will be giving you instructions throughout the traffic. They'll be looking for observation, how you deal with traffic, and how safe you are on the road. You might be even asked to do a little hill start. But don't worry, at this point, you are confident and you're gonna smash it. Now, once you're handed your certificate, that's it. You have your A2 license. You're off, you can go. Now, if we can give you any advice, it's treat your examiner like a sat-nav. Do not overthink it and trust yourself. You've gotten to this point. So, good luck. You're gonna smash it. And that's it. That is everything that you need to know about your A2 license. If you are ready to start, check out RideTo.com. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and we will help you out. Now, we'll see you in the next video, or we'll see you on the road.